I'm recording. God damn it.
I'm recording.
Oh man, thank God.
Thank God we're hitting the record button again
After that. I feel so. Yeah, where the fuck have we been?
That's a
Man.
great question. I know where I've been. Where have you guys been?
Well,
I went to the desert for a little bit.
Oh, right. You went to Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree. Got a
What
lot
do you guys-
of... The best part was like bonfiring and looking at stars. The worst part was worrying my car was going to shake apart driving on desert roads because my Airbnb was listed as like slightly off the grid. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. It'll be like a road and then a little dirt like driveway thing. And then I just drove for like 2 miles in the fucking rubble and my car was just shaking like a motherfucker.
Oh, God.
It was that episode of Grand Tour where they went to Mongolia and their car was just being shaken to its core for
Yeah,
like
but that car,
30
it
minutes.
worked for that one.
Yeah, I mean, my Ford Fusion was able to make the trek, but
Yeah.
man, was that sketchy.
Was it able to hop up a mountain like in Grand Tour?
I don't know if it had the same determination as the John, but, you know, it put
is
in
that what it's
admirable effort.
It could. It just doesn't want to prove itself right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And Joshua Tree is named after the trees. It's basically a desert with those trees.
Yeah. I saw a lot of lizards. It was a good time.
Is it like what is Joshua? Is it a forest or a...
It's a big
Kind of
desert. There's some, like, rivers and canyons and whatnot.
Okay.
It's not exactly the most, like... It's a different kind of picturesque.
That's what a Joshua tree is. Okay, I was thinking of a baobab tree, I think.
Oh, those.
As everyone does.
Yeah,
course.
which are like the big, like, weird fat ones, which I
those
think are in Africa.
Sweet. Yeah, the like Africa, like they're huge. Like the trunks are enormous, but they don't have like leaves until like the very top 5%. Like giant
Yeah.
redwoods, if redwoods only had leaves up top.
Do you guys know about the pando tree? I think it's in, where is it? It's in Utah.
I
It
did
is
not.
a tree. It's a clonal colony of like its aspen tree, and it is an entire forest that is one plant.
Like the roots are all connected and stuff.
Yeah, because it's like I think it's the largest single living organism or something. It's a clonal colony, and I think it's something where it's like the tree grows downward from a vine, or something, something like that. But it's
sweet.
an entire forest that's one tree.
It looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
We're botanists.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm really bummed out that shit did not record.
I know.
God damn it.
Kevin, I'm sorry, but I would only say that shit if I thought it wasn't recording.
That's
be
the
real.
name of the show.
You're not gonna let our. That's right. That's true blackmail material.
That is true.
All right, so I'm gonna say what it is, and then you can bleep me out later if you want. So, behind Dave's diploma,
There's a letter behind my college diploma,
that's right.
and I want to leave it at that and
That's
let
right.
the audience infer
That's
what
right.
that
we
could
all
be.
we all have letters like this.
But we
you
were
know,
saying
I
it's a
have
good
letters
place.
like this.
It's a good place to hide your shit.
Yeah,
know?
no one's looking back there, ever.
I know. But can I say I am? That's always that one aspect to like personal identification, like security stuff, that sometimes goes unnoticed as people just leaving like passwords and shit on their
Right.
desk. And I am definitely not good at this because looking at my desk right now, I see multiple tax statements with my social security number on them on my desk. But the thing is, I've been living alone for the past 6 months. And then only now, my roommate has just moved in a couple weeks ago in the interim. So I'm relearning what it is like to not live like a complete goddamn animal.
Remembering to
tough.
put on clothes when you go to
Yeah.
the fridge.
Yeah.
Is that a legit thing? It's like, oh, fuck, right. I should probably have a shirt on.
I thought it wouldn't be. And
But,
then
like,
I was
every day
pretty
after
good,
work, you're just
pretty
like,
good for the
fuck
first
this.
like 6 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think because it was over the winter, I think there was a snow day or something, and then it just it's
Fuck
done.
it.
All the discipline is gone.
Comfort is key.
Yeah. So then it's like, it's trying to not like I'm trying to like relearn what it's like to not live like a crazy person in my own
Just
home.
shit with the door open. casual stuff because I need to watch TV and shit at the same time.
No, that's not a thing that happened.
Oh well, see this
That's the height of luxury right there.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It could be the height of luxury, or in my case, it could be the height of shitty New York apartment, because when I go into the bathroom and I turn on the light, there's this loud fan, super loud, that goes on. You can't turn it off. And so if I want to sit there in silence, in peace and quiet, I have to turn off the light, but it's pitch black.
Oh, I fucking hate that. I hate bathrooms with the integrated fan.
Because I can shit in peace and quiet, but I still see things.
How does Bina feel about that?
I think that's actually a feature. Like, you ever be in a public bathroom and there's no white noise at all, and then you know that there's another person sitting there listening to you shit?
That's a public bathroom.
I'm saying that's equally embarrassing.
Like your home,
Right.
Kevin, your home bathroom doesn't have two toilets next to each other.
But I'm saying, like, I don't want to monitor actively with, like, the most precise hearing every explicit movement of my bowels.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I want to be vaguely aware of it, but I don't need it in, like, 9D audio.
That's an important piece of information, okay? You know. Like, I'm a biologist, I'll tell you. Two most important things to measure. What goes in and what goes out of you, okay?
Inputs and outputs.
Yeah. You know, you got to take your information where you can get it.
But I'm saying if my toilet was loaded with an ASMR machine, I would be pretty stoked about that.
Just a series of microphones?
No microphones. I need all microphones explicitly taken out. There can be no recordings of that dark magic. It's a bad time.
Speaking of this, are you guys hydrating? We all drinking enough water here
I am right now.
lately?
I'm a solid gallon a day. It's a bad time.
Is that what it is? Is that what you're supposed to...
No fucking
No,
gallon?
absolutely it is not.
I was about to say, isn't that like the Tom Brady diet regimen or something?
No, but I end up drinking a lot of fucking water. In a
that's
weird
just like-
way,
that's
I
his
end up
thing.
walking
It's,
a lot and peeing a lot, so I guess I'm getting out of my chair. Because as everyone knows, sitting is the new cancer. So I'm actively combating that by drinking a fuck ton of water.
Very good.
It's a bad time, though.
Yeah. You get those treadmill desks where you you like walk while you... It's like a standing desk with a treadmill on the bottom, and you walk. You seen these?
Yeah. Tom Brady's diet is up to 2.5 gallons per day.
What?
Jesus.
Isn't that the amount of water that killed that person in that one like radio contest when they drank too much water?
Yeah,
the
that's not
difference is-
great. It's really bad for you.
Put that man in a diaper. Jesus Christ, man.
How much is he at? Like, must be at least 10, 12 times a day.
Well, I don't
I'm
think he
assuming
needs
Tom
to...
Brady's a busy man. He doesn't have time for this.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, he doesn't run that much as a quarterback. He's not known as, like, a running one. He's not moving that much. What's he, like, I don't think he needs that much water. You don't need 2.5 gallons. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you need a large diaper, though. Or a man with a cup that'll
can
just, like,
still-
siphon it for you.
I was about to say, he could still pee. A catheter might be more apt, I suppose. Doesn't need it, yeah.
This is
No.
me being real dumb. Is the catheter the pipe that goes up?
A
up in your
catheter is
junk?
actually just a medical tube, generically. But
Okay,
it is
they just
what
made it
goes up.
fancy.
Yeah.
It goes up and in?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
does it connect?
It just hangs
in.
out.
Okay.
It goes up and in, though.
Yeah.
Yikes. Fuck all that.
See, I don't know if it's like something in all
That's
the
a
classes
one-way
I
street
took
down
where
there,
it's like,
friend.
None
That's
of
a
that
one-way
stuff.
street.
Talking about any of the stuff, I know someone is freaking out right now listening.
Oh, yeah,
but like
for
to
certain.
me, it is like just like yeah, it goes up there.
What's a Tuesday?
Like I'm like so like
Whatever.
blasé about all of this.
I, don't know,
I will
saw-
say,
Oh, yeah, fecal transplants, you know.
yeah,
It is what
I know
it is.
all about that.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
But the water thing, it reminds me of there's something I use it a lot for work, and like there's something called water for injection, which is what it is. It's basically very sterile water that's pure H2O. It has nothing, no minerals, nothing in it. It's like
Give me that good stuff.
no, if you drank it, you would like die.
What? Isn't that the whole point of like super
water.
purified
No.
water? I have 18
No.
Brita filters daisy
No,
chained
this
together.
is like more. This is like multiple times distilled or something, like ultra pure water, and it like my understanding is if you drank it, because it has nothing in it, it would actually soak up all of your electrolytes like a sponge, and you would just die.
Strange.
So you
Yeah,
actually
'cause
don't
it-
want pure water.
Yeah, you can't drink. You would seriously have to go to the hospital and die if you just drank pure water.
Well, this is eye-opening because I thought if you'd breathe pure oxygen and then
that's also not good for you.
Ultra pure water, you would be the healthiest person in the world.
Yeah, I thought you would ascend.
Right. That's how you become basically a saint or something.
I think if you breathe pure oxygen, you also die.
Do you get wicked high before you die, though?
You're not optimized to be breathing pure. The air that you breathe is mostly nitrogen.
That's like whippets. Just breathe in pure oxygen. You do get high, I suppose.
I thought, aren't whippets CO2?
Oh, maybe there's.
Yeah, I thought they're just depriving you. Aren't whippets just depriving you of oxygen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might as well just have someone choke you or punch you in the throat.
Getting dizzy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that's what I used to do as a kid. These people nowadays got to go out and buy something.
I had to go to
choke you out.
I had to go to the Giant and just destroy the whole stock of whipped cream.
What are whippets?
Right,
man.
Right. What are whippets? But what episode is this? It's episode 71 of Blackmail material. I think it's been a while.
Something like that.
I just want to say that the first search result when I searched what are whippets are first my thought was holy shit I'm boring, but also it was a news article that Demi Moore reportedly hospitalized after inhaling nitrous oxide.
You need to do a lot of whippets as far as I know.
It's a new celebrity thing.
Yeah.
I personally need to do a lot of whippets.
Yes, you personally. I think it would even you out actually.
What?
You need to learn things about life.
Right.
Get some whippets going.
Yeah, it's like ascending to the next realm.
Speaking of ascending,
yes.
Jack.
Yes.
I hear you have gone up.
I've ascended.
I heard you did not.
There's a couple ascending and descending. So I went to Seattle. I've been training for this alpine climbing expedition for 3 months. Basically training like an athlete.
Yeah. What is the regiment like?
7 days a week. The regiment is in the gym, all cardio, pretty much, a lot of leg work. So sprints, incline sprints, a lot of stair running, step ups, lunges, squats. Stuff like that.
I assume you got the breathing mask thing. You got the diodes plugged into your chest. You're ready to go.
Yeah, just like that, like a whole scientific laboratory of testing equipment to make sure that my body's optimized to consume and use oxygen.
Fleet of scientists.
Yes.
Spare no expense.
And so I did all that. And then I went to Seattle. We climbed up Mount Rainier. We went to Advanced Base Camp in Mount Rainier, which is a 5,000 feet elevation change over 4 miles, and ended at 10,500 feet. And so we got a little bit of that kind of elevation, oxygen deprivation stuff, just a bit. And then the ascent took us about 5.5 hours. So it was one of the most strenuous endurance things I've ever done, just because I don't do a lot of endurance things. So did that, felt very prepared for this expedition, 4 days in the mountains,
So this is you with the full-on ice suit. Are we talking crampons, ice axes, the whole deal?
Yep, for that one, we're talking crampons, we're talking ice axe, we're talking snowshoes. I hiked up with 35 pounds just for practice and because all my equipment and stuff. So I was feeling prepared. I did the hike, I was feeling okay. And the time approaches, so now that was the weekend before. Then during the week, looking at the weather reports and getting everything ready and prepped, and we're looking at the weather and it's just slowly deteriorating. We're seeing rain for the first day. We're like, okay, not too bad. Then we're seeing snow. Then we're seeing constant rain and snow for all the 4 days we're there. And then we're seeing avalanche alerts for this pass we have to cross in our little 4-day expedition. And so with all of that, we decided that it wasn't worth the risk, and we canceled the trip.
God damn, dude. That's rough.
It's pretty rough, man. Trained for almost 2 months for this. And then the weather, we couldn't do it.
Damn, so you went all the way cross country. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing with these crampons and ice axes? You just throw them in the garbage?
So thank God. So with the crampons, I just rented them.
Okay, great.
The ice axe I bought, but I'll keep it around.
For defense. Ski
touring, and we're going to try again in October, so hopefully the weather will be a little bit easier. But yeah, so it's an anticlimactic disappointment.
Damn,
heartbreak.
Dude.
Yeah. But I gather that's what it is about mountaineering and alpine climbing. It's just you're so beholden to the weather and the conditions, and
Is there any part of you that's like, oh, thank God, I didn't need to put my life at risk and like potentially die up there?
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. Because, I mean, it wasn't like the safest expedition. Also wasn't the most dangerous, but it was like kind of in the middle. We needed specialized equipment and preparation. And so it wasn't a gimme.
Right.
So part of me was like, okay, not, like safe and sound. I don't have to, snow camp for 4 days and hike all these miles and all this elevation change. So that was one part of me for sure.
Did you guys see that picture of Mount Everest?
Oh, yes.
I have not actually seen it.
That's
Is it of the
crazy
line?
picture.
Dave, you should look up a picture of a traffic jam on Mount Everest.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it was?
Apparently, there are so many people now that go up Mount Everest that at the top of what I thought was like the deadliest shit on the planet,
Right.
there are traffic jams where you are just up there in a conga line of people for 4 hours waiting to go up and down at what they call the death zone.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Holy shit, dude.
The thing I find interesting is that it's just that, like, Everest is not the most dangerous mountain. It's just
I thought it was the worst. It's
the
not.
tallest.
It's the tallest, but it's not the most dangerous. If you look at death toll by 100 people, it's like it's pretty safe in comparison because
they've done it so many times. It's known how to do it.
I see.
So like the reasoning is that the hike to base camp on Everest takes like a week or something, but there's these established communities along the route that provide like food and housing and shelter. And so the trek to base camp is not that strenuous. You don't have to pack everything in. And then the Sherpas set up the routes through the most dangerous parts of Everest, the Khumbu Icefall, and then up until like Camp 3 or something. The Sherpas have set all these routes and ladders and ropes. And so you just have to be in shape to be able to climb the mountain. You don't really have to have like a lot of mountaineering experience. And then the hardest part is that last part where you see the picture, which is called the Hillary Step. And that's the most difficult part and dangerous. But mostly, you know what to do. You just like walk up this single file line to the summit. But the death toll on Everest is much lower than comparative mountains in the Himalayas, but that are less established. Like K2 has a much higher death rate than Everest, even though it's shorter in elevation.
I had no idea. So it's simply because it is tall. It's not like there's a technicality to getting up there. It's just real high.
Right. Not anymore. When it was first climbed, it was very, dangerous when they were setting these routes. But right now, it's pretty commercialized and relatively safe in comparison to other, big mountain climbs.
It's like, I get it when, you go to Seattle and everyone is lining up to take a picture in front of Pike Place,
right,
or the Space Needle. But the idea that you would spend tens of thousands of dollars to, like, get a flight, all the equipment, Sherpas, camping shit, just to, like, do all that and just have a goddamn traffic jam.
Oh.
How many people are up there just for the gram? It's like, Machu Picchu, that shit's played. Everyone's been to Machu Picchu. I gotta get me some Everest shit.
Yeah, man.
That's gonna get all the ladies. They'll be like, oh shit, what a rugged dude.
Right.
I hate to be cynical, but there has to be some percentage of people like that. Because what the fuck?
I think so, man. It's a damn shame. It's just, and also the thing that's interesting is like the weather. The reason why this happens is the weather window to climb Everest is only like a week or 2 weeks. So all the summits that you hear about for Everest in a year happen in a 2-week window.
Oh, I see.
You think people summit Everest all times of the year? No, they summit Everest at some weather window, like week or two at the end of May. That's when everybody summits.
Otherwise, it's like impossible.
Otherwise, it's impossible because the weather is too bad. And so
I see.
Every single person who summits Everest in a year summits within a 2-week window. And so you have all these people at the same time.
So there's some dude in the Nepali travel office just like counting change.
Yep.
It's like, fuck it. You're going to give me the cash. Might as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think now it's going to spark some debate.
Yeah.
In the mountaineering community.
Do you remember a few years ago when there was that avalanche at the Everest base camp? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. And there was like a video that came out from it.
Yeah.
It looked fucking terrifying.
Who's the cameraman on that one?
Well, it's just like someone. I don't know. First of all, isn't it crazy that you can get like almost live video right from fucking Mount Everest now?
Yeah,
That's pretty
crazy.
wild.
Like 10 years ago.
You sound like a crazy
no
person
fucking
saying
way.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did the iPhone even have like I don't think they could do the concept of FaceTime. I don't think phones had front-facing cameras 10 years ago. There was no selfie.
But now I can Facetune it.
Yeah.
I can make the avalanche look sexy.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you guys been on the Instagram versus reality subreddit?
No.
Yeah.
That sounds
Man,
interesting.
that shit is crazy. So H3H3 did a video about that subreddit, about how men and women would go to extreme lengths in order to like Photoshop their bodies and just make these really crazy, unrealistic images. And Instagram versus reality is just getting the original photos and just putting them side by side.
Is it Instagram reality?
It's Instagram, it's models, it's actors and actresses. It's what's the funniest ones are like the ladies who get the saline injections into their butts.
Oh,
When I say funny, I mean like morbidly funny,
right.
because it looks like you put a sack of yams for your yams. It's bad.
Doesn't
It
look
like
good.
protrudes in an alien way that you know that's not what a butt looks like.
Yeah.
And yet they're just like, yeah, look at me. I'm looking fine. I'm like, no, you are not.
Nope. Ugh. No,
It is a
thanks.
weird rabbit hole to go down to.
Kind of makes me sad when I look at
A
it.
little bit, yeah. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
most of these women look completely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no need for anything. Yeah, they're, normal, attractive women, and yet even they feel the need to go into just mind-altering realities.
Yeah. Body mod and stuff is yeah, it just makes me sad that this is where we're at. And, all these Instagram they're probably focused on becoming like an influencer or whatever and get all these followers, but do followers even mean anything? They craft this vision of themselves and they feel good, to feel good about themselves. It's just sad that the lengths that they feel they have to go to feel like valued.
Yeah, like there was a lady in that H3H3 video that, I mean, I think Ethan was a little bit overboard making fun of this lady, saying like, oh, in one picture she looks like a supermodel and the other she looks like an open casket. But at the same time, like,
What the fuck?
yeah, he went hard in the paint. But I think there was a point there behind the brutality of the disses. But like the fact that that is the whole lady's, that's her whole deal. That's her YouTube. That's her Instagram. Like, is using makeup and filters to manufacture something completely unreal.
That's like what was the Joe Rogan joke from a couple years ago about how there's a girl on Instagram whose whole career is having 9 million followers stare at a picture of her ass, and it's like, that's not even the same species of human as you and me.
Yeah. So
It's
like what's fucked up is there is a whole industry and I guess tens of thousands of people that can do that for a living.
I know, but did you see? I
Yeah.
think there was an Onion headline or something about or no, not an Onion headline, about an Instagram, like an influencer with like
Yeah.
2.3 million followers, that was only able to sell like 17 shirts or something.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that. I can't believe that was real.
Yeah,
do you
I thought
think
was a
that?
fake
Do you
headline.
think? Do you think that was higher or lower? Like, how effective are those influencers? Do you think actually are at directly selling stuff?
It really depends on the fan base. Like any fan base. Like that Mr. Beast guy just sells $1 bajillion in merch every time he drops a dumb video. But then this lady can't sell 36 t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like every fandom is a whole unique thing.
You know what's crazier that I read is that now they're pursuing. Wow, I almost phrased it in the worst way possible, but now they're I was going to say now they're pursuing going after children, but they are pursuing children. They want to start doing. What's the YouTube equivalent of Instagram influencer? Is there a term for that?
Like a content creator, an
Yeah,
influencer.
but like children as young as 4.
I mean, there are kids who unbox toys that
Yeah.
have way more subs than we will ever have.
I know, and like companies are
Ridiculous.
like directly going after them as a.
I was at the Target and there was a lady who had a branded line of slime,
Oh my god.
which is like a combination of like glue and glitter. And she had a sponsored line of slime that I guess your kids would buy and then just fuck up your house with.
That sounds.
And she was
terrible.
like 8.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's this little girl just like, oh yeah, I have my own slime line.
See, this is what I imagine Los Angeles is.
Yeah, I mean, but
you'd
this
be
was
correct.
a Target. This is probably nationwide.
No, wait. The girl was at the Target with you? Like
No. Like she was on the box. As,
Oh,
like,
I thought
look
it was
at me
like
and my branded
I thought
slime.
she was at Target. You
No,
like
no,
ran
no.
into a girl who was like, "Yeah, this is my brand." Okay.
I mean, hey, that's also possible. I bet she had a launch party. You don't get to a point where you are on nationwide big box stores with your picture on a box of slime without having a couple launch parties. Like that's
This
a
is-
real thing that happened.
Kid
Trying in vain
God,
to
that's-
sign my slime. It's like, oh shit, I can't put Sharpie on this. I cannot. You don't understand. This is not how it works.
I don't know. That business practice is just so slimy. I can't.
It's just like advertising.
Hi-oh.
There you go. What makes me think of is weirdly is remember Robert Koo from Penny Arcade?
Mm-hmm.
Because how could we forget one of the most brilliant minds of a generation? But that line he said about how the dirtiest object in the world is that smart sand at a toy store because no one's ever cleaning the demo sand.
Oh yeah, no, it's the same realm
It's
as
the dirtiest
McDonald's
thing,
play pit.
dirtiest thing on Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like kids advertising is just so profitable. It must be. I mean, some of the biggest YouTube sensations, like Dude Perfect, they advertise just all these kids' products and get sponsored by like
don't know.
Nerf
I don't
and
know,
stuff
man.
like that. And they make the rake in that dough.
So like I think I've said this before, but like so when I was like 5 or 6, I distinctly remember being at like a science camp at the Franklin Institute, and the first thing they said was how all advertisements and commercials are lies. And I think that definitely colored most of my feeling towards advertisements for my whole life. But I don't understand why people don't just say that to their children right out the gate and be like, "Oh, all of this is just pure lies."
You're saying if I eat icebreakers, there won't be a unicorn that shatters me into ice like Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been avoiding those for years. I thought a horrible body tragedy would befall me.
Well, no, wait. I'm sorry. That will happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
icebreakers are the most honest in the entire ad world.
Yeah. Anything bad that happens in advertisement is totally true.
Like those Skittles commercials.
Yeah, that's real.
100%.
Yeah.
That's so fucked.
hundo. What was the Skittles thing? Is that the Skittles
That's the
version
one
of
where, like,
Tinnitus?
The most fucked up commercial, in my opinion, is the one where it's 2 kids underneath the bleachers of a school,
What?
and then one kid has pimples, but they're all Skittles, and then a girl rips off the Skittle pimple and eats it, and then
What
she
the
is
fuck?
inflicted with the Skittle pimples.
What is this ad that you're talking about?
Taste the rainbow, infect the rainbow.
What is this ad? When is
It's-
this from?
It's real. It's in the not
No.
too distant past. Skittles commercials are fucked up, dude. And
Pretty fucked up.
being in the post-production industry, knowing that tens of people and thousands of dollars went into that campaign is a preposterous fact.
Yeah.
Man,
That's God.
It's a real ad.
Are
Just
there
look
not
up
enough?
funniest Skittle commercials on YouTube. You'll find it.
Sometimes I wonder what is the bar to writing content that will eventually make it to being aired.
I think it
How
depends
high is
who
that
you're
bar?
writing to. It can be surprisingly low.
That's
Like
what
the
I'm
Skittles
thinking. It's
commercial?
like, yeah. How hard do you think it was to be the writer for that Skittles commercial? Presumably it was a room, but if you're the worst guy in the Skittles advertisement writer's room, How much work do you think it was to get there?
I don't know, but whatever happened, whatever his skill threshold is, that dude got paid.
Hopefully.
National TV campaign for Skittles. That
Dude,
dude bought a
that-
Ferrari with Skittles money, sir.
Get that Skittles money.
Man, the candy
Get that
industry must
Skittles
be
money.
so much larger than we think.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more of a bajillion-dollar industry than we even think about.
The big candy lobby.
Yeah, like Mars. Mars, they own like every single candy product. They must be raking in so much money.
I'm in love with the image of a man in a suit with a briefcase, and he pops open the 2 locks, flips around the case to you, and it's just literally stacked with 100 grand bars. And then he takes a knife and he slits one open, and it's just cocaine. Like, there's 100% a big candy lobby, and I want to imagine someone on Capitol Hill just slanging 100 grand bars.
That imagery,
For influence. I
that
love
that
imagery
image.
is very funny.
Yes.
It sounds like something that would actually be in South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, you a writer? Huh? You a writer? You're right.
Check my LinkedIn.
Man, speaking of advertising, did you guys hear about the North Face advertising
I
campaign?
did hear about that. That's
Is this
I
about
hate
the
it, but it's
vest?
kind of brilliant.
Is this
Yeah.
about the vest? People are very mad. I don't understand why they're mad about the vest.
No, they
No.
edited Wikipedia pages.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What
So-
the fuck's going on?
So what they did was, in order to make their products reach like the top ranking search results in Google, what they did was they chose a bunch of prominent like outdoor locations, like mountains and national parks and stuff, and they took photos of these places with North Face products in them. So like they had a person in the photo of this national park that was wearing like a North Face backpack or like a North Face like vest or something. And then they edited the official Wikipedia entry for these locations with those pictures.
Oh, wow.
And because they noticed that when you search for these locations, the Wikipedia picture is the first link to show up, they figured, oh, well, if we just edit those pictures, we'll show up first.
Give that man a corner office.
Right. And the fucking nuts thing about that is they made a 2-minute video bragging about how brilliant this plan was. And like in the video, they said, how did we reach the top of Google search results for paying no money?
man.
And they outlined exactly what they did.
This is like
They got
the
shit on
Bond
for
villain. This is the Bond villain just outlining their entire manifesto while James Bond is like undoing the fucking locks on his wrists.
Yeah.
Like, you could have gotten away with it. Like, the internet sleuths would figure it out eventually, but like the hubris
Yes.
about outmaneuvering the algorithm
Yep.
is
Yeah.
wow.
Bragging about it. Come on.
Yeah. I don't-
You already won. Just take the W.
No, they can't
Exactly.
do that.
Right. You have to like win, and you have to win some fucking advertising award for being such a brilliant, plan.
So is this
Winning
like-
an advertising award is like, again, to me, that's like, hey, I won the biggest liar of the year award.
Is that like a video on YouTube, like someone
Yes.
saying, like, look at how fly we are at advertising?
Yeah. It's like literally, imagine any promo video, upbeat music, beautiful drone shots, whatever. And then there's the North Face logo, but instead of saying the North Face, it's just their little rainbow logo, and it says top of images.
Man, this seems
some cringe thing.
This is like some Ty Lopez fucking bullshit scheming nonsense.
Yeah.
Wow, they almost had it. They had
Yeah.
money in the bank.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah.
And then there's some like deep state theory that they released the video just so they could get shit on for it, so they could put their name in the press.
That's also
some-
brilliant.
That could be brilliant too. I don't know. But then they kind of like
No.
sabotage their original, plans with Wikipedia by doing that. I don't know.
I'm not an outdoor man, but doesn't North Face already have the clout? They didn't need to flex on them, right? Or are they trying to beat them? Are they trying to beat Patagonia? Is that what they're trying to do?
I'm trying to beat Patagonia.
As like, oh no, we are the real Wildman shit.
Right. I think they're trying to combat that whole thing of like, I think North Face has become a little bit commercialized and sort of, universal. It's not very special anymore.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, do you guys remember in Game of Thrones when Tormund was wearing a North Face vest and then he beheaded that giant that was wearing the Patagonia jacket and he said, "Fuck you, you casual," and then he just split the giant's head in half?
Yeah, I remember.
Do you think that was a conspiracy?
No.
Like Starbucks, I don't think they would put their brand out there and try to get some viral marketing going, but after this, I feel like maybe this is connected with that North Face shit.
God, what if we learned that Starbucks cup was edited into the shot?
Oh. Yeah.
How insane would that be?
Again, knowing how many people are on like the post side of things, there had to have been so many emails that got fired off after that shit hit Twitter.
Oh my God, yeah.
I can't
definitely.
fathom how many actively aggressive CCs
Well, it's
there
like,
were.
have you ever seen, like, you know that, I mean, stuff gets through. It's like that clip in Star Wars where the stormtrooper hits his head on the door.
I can't fathom that making it through all the people at HBO. That shit is wild.
Yeah.
I feel like they spend too much money, and there are too many people that have to like work together that no one would catch. That is weird.
It still plays. So here's my theory about why this season of Game of Thrones was so bad. Was I've read that they tried to, in an attempt to not spoil anything, they filmed not only multiple endings, but they also filmed a death scene for every major character. Right?
Huh.
And I firmly believe that the content that got aired was not what was supposed to be written, but someone accidentally sent the wrong files and they just went with it. I 100%, well, not really 100%. I firmly believe that happened because there's no other reason for the last season of Game of Thrones to be as bad as it was. It was fucking trash.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I don't think
People were floating the idea that maybe they needed to get this shit done so they could work on Star Wars since they are at the helm of the next trilogy, and that's why it felt rushed.
Well, are they still going to be at the helm?
Man, Disney, they thought, what a surefire bet, and then it went so bad so fast.
So presumably they're not doing that like fucking Civil War show they wanted to do that no one was asking for. Do you remember that?
Twitter did not react kindly to that one.
Yeah. 2017
give the two white dudes
was it, I think
slavery show.
Summer of 2017 was not a good year to unveil that fucking show. Jack, do you know what we're talking about?
What, Star Wars?
No, the creators of Game of Thrones wanted to make this show called Confederate. That was going to be an alternate history show where, like, I think in it, the Civil War gets fought to a stalemate, and then there's multiple Civil Wars after that, but that the Confederacy exists in the modern era as, like, presumably a slave.
Interesting.
Are we sure this isn't a Philip K. Dick book? Because that sounds exactly like the plot of one of his books.
Maybe. I don't know. HBO's got some good shows coming down the pike, though.
For their sake, I hope so, because, like, man.
No, yeah, they have that
after
new
Game of Thrones, wow.
That new Watchmen show looks amazing.
It does look good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chernobyl is premiering tomorrow, I think, right?
Chernobyl's good.
ending tomorrow.
Oh,
I've been watching it, and it's
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
was going to say, it's so good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Although
that's
I
why-
will say, a little bit of warning, if you're not comfortable with body horror, then
Really?
Perhaps...
What are you talking
Excellent.
about?
My girlfriend wanted to watch Chernobyl and then was kind of shocked when they showed an irradiated body looking straight up out of Fallout. I'm like, why are you surprised by this fact? You're literally watching a show called Chernobyl.
Yeah,
What did you think was going to happen?
See, I had the reaction of it made me research everything that occurs during
Nuclear meltdown.
radiation poisoning, which it is
Shout outs to the
about-
makeup department because
it's real good.
wow, they go hard in the paint. This is intense body horror.
For anyone that wants true horror, radiation poisoning is about the worst thing that can happen to you.
Sounds pretty bad from what they
Because
describe on the
it
show.
comes outside in, so the last thing to go is your nervous system. So it's like you sort of like slowly fade, but you still feel all the pain and everything. That's my understanding of it, and it's just like the radiation like physically burns you.
Chernobyl is very good, The only
It's
thing
so
that's
good.
odd about it, and this is something that my girlfriend pointed out that I can't unhear now, everyone has a weird European accent, and they're not all Russian sounding. Some
Yeah.
of them sound Irish. Some of
Well,
them
it's
sound like
because
straight
they're-
up the
I
Queen's
actually-
English. And
I
then none
actually
of them
love it.
sound like
It makes sense.
stereotypical Russian.
No, it makes sense because it was made. It was presumably filmed in England, so it's because it's in association with Sky.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of British actors that just retained their normal speaking voice. And the fact that none of them put on a like corny Yakov Smirnoff accent, it struck
did
me,
you-
and then I couldn't unhear it. I didn't think about it at first because I was just compelled by the story. But
Did you notice that?
It's
I
weird.
believe in the most recent episode, the new guy, I think he had an American accent.
it's weird. It's all over the board with the accents.
But I've been waiting for someone to do that for a long time. Where it's like, oh, you're from Eastern Siberia, so to make the accent be so much different, they just had it be played by an American actor, and he's speaking with an American accent. And
I would
like,
think,
and it's like that worked so well. I was compelled by the accents. I love it. I love how
That's
they're
weird.
doing that because they're all from different parts of the Soviet Union, so they do naturally have different accents. That
I
works.
guess that's true.
Like the woman professor's from Belarus, but like the other people are in like Ukraine, and it's like other people are in Moscow. Like it's all different, and it works.
They're all pasty white people to me.
Yeah. No, Chernobyl is so good.
It's good. Recommended.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
gotta start
unfortunately
watching.
do actually have to like run out my door though.
All right, give us what
All right,
the
So
Internet
I've
thing.
been addicted to these videos from Corridor Crew that I think you have turned me onto. Mm-hmm. So I was watching this one where they had, if I had unlimited money to make the perfect camera.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that? And they basically, I at first thought that meant that he was going to try and physically build like a camera housing himself and the lenses and everything, but he really meant a rig. And basically, one of the guys from Corridor Crew, I don't know any of their names,
It
but
was
he
Nico.
basically, what was Nico?
Yeah.
Okay, you've seen this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great channel.
This video is unavailable.
What? I'm watching it right now. But no, it's basically he makes and designs like a rig that'll be like super handy using a red camera, I think. And just like it's very fascinating because I don't know a whole lot about like production level camera
Yeah.
rigging and stuff.
He talks about building a system of accessories and gear that could be the most well-rounded piece of filming equipment for like various filming situations, whether that's Steadicam or on tracks
Yeah,
or
it's
on
all
a tripod.
wireless, all that stuff.
And seeing all that like high-tech gear is like a very nerdy kind of pornography, you know? Like browsing people's like sweet rigs. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I agree. That's a cool video.
Nice. Check it out.
that channel's great.
Yeah. I guess
All
I'll go next.
go ahead.
Bookstores, how to read more books in the golden age of content. It is a video by Max Joseph. He's kind of related to the Casey Neistat, like 368 videos, that whole crew of people in the New York YouTube scene. But it's basically a video about him talking to experts in speed readers and librarians and people who work in bookstores, talking about how you kind of have to make a habit to read more books and what it takes to read more in your life. And then the fun part about that video is him going to the most lavish bookstores on the planet Earth. And it's like, this one was in a former church. This one is like an underground maze. This one is a 7-building bookstore with each one being its own unique theme and design and shit. So on just like an architectural level, it was a cool thing to watch.
That's really cool.
And it inspired me to finish Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull, who is one of the co-heads of Pixar. So I can credit that video for getting me back in out of my slump here and finishing a book.
Nice. That sounds like a really cool video. I'll check it out.
What you got, Jack?
All right, what do I got? So, there's this really cool channel, sort of like a Binging with Babish type channel, but for cocktails.
Ooh.
And it is called How to Drink. And right now he's doing a series. He did a cocktail for every single Game of Thrones episode.
Wow.
And normally he does cocktails from TV or inspired by TV. And yeah, it's sort of like a binging with Babish type style.
Sick.
Really high quality videos, like super high quality. Like he has like a crazy like phantom slow-mo camera. So like every time he like pours a shot into the glass, it's all slow-mo. It looks really silky smooth. And yeah, it's a good show. He definitely gets drunk before he does it. He spouts out some pop culture about the series or whatever he's doing, and then makes a cocktail. So
Awesome.
one of a good channels recently got restarted again, so I brought it up. He took a break for like a year, but now he's back.
Cool.
So.
Just like us. We're back on the grind.
Yes, we are.
This was episode 71 of Blackmail Material.
Yep.
Shout out to all the real fans who stuck with us.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
Bye. I gotta go.
All right, later.
Guys.